Today, we'll go through the rich history and growth of the jewelry making industry, a component of human culture, evolution, and civilization. Jewelry manufacture is one of the oldest industries on the planet, having grown and endured through various centuries and civilizations, and even as technological developments continue, the sector has evolved. Did you know that prehistoric men and women are thought to have adorned themselves with seashells, animal teeth and bones, pebbles, and even animal parts, such as antlers, horns, and tusks, before the creation of clothes? It's fascinating how men found ways to use mineral reserves such as gold and valuable stones as communities grew, social systems began to form, and ancient civilizations began to rise. Nowadays, many types of jewelry have evolved to include unique accessories designed for specific sections of the body. Anklets, nose rings, crowns, earrings, diadems, necklaces, bracelets, armlets, rings, toe rings, belt shoe buckles, breastplates, brooches, amulets, studded piercings, and so on are now available. Would you like to know some proof of ancient jewelry making in Sumer, now called Talamuk-ir? Check out the ornate headdress made of 20 gold leaves, 2 strings of lapis and carnelian, a large gold comb, a pair of earrings, and a diadem made up of thousands of small lapis lazuli and chalcedony beads found in Queen Pu tomb abbeys at Ur. These artifacts date from the 3rd millennium BCE. The discovery of Egyptian pharaoh Tutankhamun's tomb, 18th dynasty, 1539 to 1292 BCE, is another example of amazing treasures that accompanied an Egyptian ruler both during his lifetime and after his death, as well as Egyptian goldsmiths' great mastery. The pharaoh's coffin was fully coated in gold inlay, and the mummy was encrusted with numerous gems. This massive collection of gold and other high-quality jewels, including diadems, pendants, amulets, necklaces, and rings, unearthed in other rooms of the tomb, is unsurpassed in the history of jewelry. This also demonstrates that jewelry acted as status symbols, displaying the splendor of ancient kings and queens. To this day, the perception that luxury and jewelry go hand in hand is still true. Let's move on to the growth of jewelry in the industry from the Renaissance to the present. The Renaissance, 1300 to 1600, was a period marked by the resuscitation and resurrection of classical mythological figures. The longing for opulence was mirrored in Renaissance jewelry. Jewelry that was intricately enameled and multicolored took on a new decorative technique. Enamel work often covered both sides of a piece. Religious significance was emphasized in everyday life, as seen by jewelry, pictorial motifs, and jewels picked for their legendary power. New forms of jewelry and alterations in fashion were introduced in the mid-17th century. Mourning and remembrance gems became fashionable. Dark, dismal fabrics were embellished with exquisite gold, onyx, and deep garnet jewelry during this period. Elegant backdrops for diamonds and decorative pearls were created with the new softer pastel colors. The most enticing gems of this era were large bodice or breast embellishments, which had to be sewn or attached to rigid textiles. The 18th century saw the development of superbly cut diamonds with numerous facets. In Europe, diamonds were brought in. Imitations of these stones were made because they were so popular. Diamonds glistened like never before, and they became the most popular gemstone in jewelry design. The cutting and exploitation of diamonds and other valuable stones were highlighted in this period's jewelry. Moving on to the 19th century, the Industrial Revolution, which put an end to the previous use of jewelry as a status symbol, ushered in a time of massive industrial and social transformation. This socio-economic change generated a great market for large quantities of jewelry to be sold at affordable cost to the middle class. Finally, the arts and crafts movement arose in the later years of the 19th century, fueled by a deep dissatisfaction with the industrialized society. They decided to concentrate on handcrafting one-of-a-kind diamonds. Large, faceted stones were avoided by arts and crafts jewelers, who instead relied on the natural beauty, shaped and polished, of cabochon jewels. They substituted curved or figurative designs, frequently with symbolic significance, for the repetition and regularity of conventional settings.